this is part two. I keep pausing today because like I'm getting text messages from my boyfriend and everything, and like I'm need to take a break every once in a while from reading. But this is part two, like I said, and then we're on chapter three. And I can't remember how many chapters there are, but I wrote it a little bit bigger so that people, like, if they have bad eyesight, like I know I have bad eyesight, like from far away, like I really do. And I always got to get new glasses. But like for people with like are having really trouble, like older people can just it's a bit bigger so that they can read it. And so I kind of use. I mean, this one might be for kids a little bit better, but anyways, here's chapter 3. 10 years later, Vera and Nix are outside training with their father. Luna is looking from the kitchen window lovingly at her husband and teenage daughters, when suddenly there was a dark red cloud mixed with black coming from the sky. Luna ran to the door for her husband and daughters. Ajax, Lyra, and Nix stopped training and ran to the house. Ajax ran inside, but the door was slammed shut before the girls could get inside. Mom, Dad, why did you slam the door? Asked Nix. We didn't, sweetheart, but please push. We can't get the door open on the side, screamed Luna. Lyra and Nix tried to push the door open, but it was like a huge stone was stuck on the door. Nix, try magic, screamed Lyra. The girls stopped pushing and worked together to try and open the door with magic, but the door was still not moving. And all of a sudden, the dark red and black cloud disappeared and the door opened. Lyra and Nix put their hands down and looked inside the house. Mom, Dad, where are you? Nix called out. Lyra and Nix looked all over the house, but their parents were gone. I don't understand. They were here when the cloud came and then are gone when the cloud left. Said Lyra, looking at her sister with concern. You think they used the secret door? Asked Nix. I'm not sure. Did we look there? Asked Lyra. No, I don't think so. Let's go look, said Nix. Lyra and Nix walked over to the bookcase and pulled down a dark green book. They moved back. The bookcase slowly opened to reveal a doorway. Lyra and Nix walked through the doorway. Mom, Dad, are you in here? Nix called out, looking around the room. There was only a silence in the room. Sorry, people. I gotta stretch my leg. There was only a silence in the room. Nix, look, there's a note over on the desk, explains Lyra. Nix looks over at the desk and walks over. She picks up the note and looks at her sister scared. What's wrong, Miss Lyra? Nix hands the note to Lyra. Lyra starts reading the note. Lyra and Nix, you must uphold your prophecy or your parents die. I took them to make sure that you two do your part. Love, Friday. Lyra finishes reading the note. Lyra and Nix look at each other and nod. They leave the room, the note in Lyra's hand. Chapter 4. Lyra and Nix had packed supplies and left to go to Grandma Frey's house. They didn't know what troubles may lay ahead, but they were prepared. Lyra, did we pack enough food? Asked Nix, looking into a knapsack as they made camp for the night. Lyra looks over at her sister and narrows her eyes. Of course I did, said Lyra. Nix looks up at Lyra. Okay, sorry, said Nix, putting the knapsack down and making a bed. Lyra softens her lip. Sorry, I'm just trying to understand this map on the back of this note. Nix puts down what she was holding and walks over to Lyra. Maybe I can try it, asked Nix. Lyra hands Nix the note with the map. Nix looks at the map and suddenly they hear a noise coming from the bushes. Nix and Lyra stand up and look toward the bushes. They see a pair of eyes staring back at them. Hello, who's there? Asked Lyra to the bushes. The eyes blink once and then slowly move. A person comes out from the bushes. It is a teenage boy about Lyra and Nix's age. The boy is tall with blonde hair. The boy plays with his hands looking scared for getting caught. Why are you being sneaky? Nix asked the boy. The boy looks down his feet. Well, I was told to come into the woods by my father. Then I heard a noise, so I looked in the bushes, and that is when I saw you two, said the boy. Lyra and Nix looked at each other, then back at the boy. Nix stepped closer, her eyes narrowing as she studied the boy. Well, are you going to say something? The boy swallowed hard. I wasn't trying to scare you, I just didn't know how to approach. Lyra crossed her arms. Most people start with hello, not hiding in the bushes like a creeper. He went, fair point. Nix softened slightly. Who are you? The boy hesitated, glancing over his shoulder as if expecting someone or something to appear behind him. My name is Rowan. Lyra and Nix exchanged a look. Then why were you watching us, Rowan? Lyra asked, stepping protectively in front of her sister. Rowan lifted his hands and surrendered. Because I've been looking for you, both of you? Nix blinked why. Rowan took a slow breath, gathering courage, because the bloodmoon twins are in danger, and because I think I know where your grandma's keeping your parents. The fire cracked beneath them, casting flickering shadows across Rowan's face. He looked exhausted, like he'd been running for days. Laura's voice dropped to a whisper. How do you know about the prophecy? Rowan's expression deepened. Because my family has been watching your grandma for years. Frey isn't just a witch, she's building something, a coven loyal only to her, and she needs one of you to complete it. Next step back, her breath catching. Complete it? What does that mean? Rowan shook his head. I don't know everything, but I know that she's preparing for the next blood moon, and she'll do anything to make the prophecy come true. Silence fell over the campsite. Lyra clutched her fist. Then you're going to take us to her, sorry. Rowan hesitated. I can guide you, but the path isn't safe. Freya's creatures guarding the forest, shadows that don't belong to this world. Nix lifted her chin. We're not afraid. Rowan said the twins for a long moment, then nodded. Then we leave it on. Lyra glanced at her sister, determination burning in her eyes. No, we leave now. The wind shifted, carrying the faint scent of smoke and something darker, something watching. Rowan's face paled. And stay close. She already knows you're coming. Sorry, it's a tongue twister again. Chapter 5. The forest grew colder as the three of them moved through the trees. Moonlight filtered through the branches of the swim. Thin, trembling beams, painting the ground in silver strip. Lyra kept her hand close to her satchel, where she took the note from Frey. Nix walked beside Rowan, her eyes scanning the shadows. Rowan paused suddenly, raising a hand, stopped. Lyra froze. What now? Rowan didn't answer. His gaze was fixed in the darkness between two ancient oaks. The air there shimmered just slightly, and the heat rising from stone. Nix whispered, Is that magic? Rowan nodded. A word. Phrase. She uses them to mark territory. Lyra stepped forward, so we break it. Rowan grabbed her wrist. No, you don't break Frey's words. You go around them. Lyra pulled her hand back, pressing it. We don't have time to tiptoe. Nix touched her sister's arm gently. Lyra, he's right. If we trigger, she'll know exactly where we are. Lyra exhaled sharply, but nodded. They moved in a wide arc, circling the ward. As they passed it, Nix felt a faint vibration in her chest, like the hum of a distant storm. She shivered. Rowan noticed. You felt that? Nix nodded. It's like it was watching? It was, Rowan said quietly. They continued deeper into the woods until the trees thinned and the ground sloped downward. A faint glow pulsed ahead, soft, blue, and rhythmic, like a heartbeat. Rowan crouched behind the fallen log, stay low. Lyra and Nix knelt beside him, through the branches, and they saw a clearing. At its center stood a stone archway covered in twisting rings. Blue light pulsed from within the arch, illuminating the clearing in ghostly waves. Nix breath caught. What is that? A portal, Rowan whispered. Praise it to travel between our sanctums. Yeah, sanctums. I'm sorry. I'm having such a bad tongue twister today. Lyra's eyes widened. So our parents could be on the other side? Rowan nodded. Most likely. Nix leaned forward, then we go through. Rowan hesitated. It's not that simple. The portal is guarded. As if summoned by his words, a shape moved in the shadows near the arch. Then another and another. 3 creatures stepped into the light, tall, gaunt, with elongated limbs and hollow, clear, lone eyes. Their skin looked like stretched ash. Nix's voice trembled. What are those? Rowan swallowed, Shadowborn. Lyra's jaw tightened. Can we fight them? Rowan didn't answer immediately. His silence was answering not. Nix reached for Laura's hand. We have to try. Laura squeezed back. We will. Rowan looked between them. Something like awe flickered in his eyes. You two really are the blood moon twins. Lyra smirked. Is that supposed to be a compliment? Rowan stood slowly. Tonight, yes. The Shadowborn turned their heads sharply toward the sound of his movement. Lyra rose beside him, magic crackling faintly at her fingertips. Nick stepped forward, her palms glowing with soft warm light. Rowan drew a small blade edged with runes. The creatures hissed, their bodies bending unnaturally as they prepared to strike. Lyra whispered, "Ready?" Nyx nodded. "Always." The Shadowborn launched. Lunged with a streak that sounded like tearing metal. Rowan barely had time to shove Nyx aside before one of the creature's claws slashed through the space where she'd been standing. Lyra reacted first, and I have to pause again because I have to go to the bathroom.